Hey y'all, this is Melissa. In this video I was going to do a tutorial for you. I'm going to actually do my whole face, but the tutorial is specifically on how to do a little bit easier than usual of a smoky eye. Most people, they have to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend to get a smoky eye, and that's something I've tried it both ways, the blending, and then there's the way that I've always done it. So I hope that you'll find this a little bit easier of a way to do a smoky eye, and I hope that you enjoy this. What you'll find is that a lot of what you see me do with my makeup, it's going to appear backwards from the way that you normally see people do their makeup. I do things in what's going to seem an out of order sort of way, but hopefully you'll see as you're watching that there's a method behind my madness. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I hope that when you're done that you will like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and I'll be putting up videos about once a week, maybe more often sometimes, but anyway, enjoy. So I'm starting off with my bare face here, and I'm just going to go ahead and we'll just do the whole makeup here. So I'm going to get my hair here out of my way best I can here, and get started here first off with some foundation here. I'm kind of looking over here at my main mirror in case you're wondering what I'm staring at over here. So, I always put just a dab on my eyelids there. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in Nude Ivory, and I also use this from Physicians Formula, their Spotlight. I always use just a dab of it as well, just to help brighten things up a little bit. And then just using the Luxie round blender. It's a really good brush. And I just try to make sure that's blended out really good. And then I use for concealer, I do that next. I do the NYX HD Studio, sorry I gotta hold that way out there, HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. So I put just a little bit of that on. I have like these little broken capillaries just right in here and on the side over here. So I use it there, and then if I have a blemish I'll use it on that. And then I don't really cake a lot on under my eyes. I see some ladies do, but like I say, it can tend to cake up on me there, so I don't do that. Let's see, where's my brush? There it is. And I'm using, this is actually the Luxie eye shading brush that I use for this. I know it's meant for eye shading, but I use it for blending out my concealer, and it tends to work really well for that. And I'm just looking over in this mirror over here so I can see what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see that or not, but here in the corners, I know there's not a lot of light here. That's one of the reasons I've got a makeup mirror that I've got coming so that there will actually be more light. You can actually see better what I'm doing. but I just very lightly blend that in there. Just because I have the dark, those veins get really dark up in between there. And I just like to get that, all that lightened up just a little bit. But it's just too much sometimes to do like a whole huge thing all underneath of there. I just find it's too cakey. And I don't like too cakey. I really don't. So next thing I'm using, it's all in here. Okay, I'll pull all this out. This is just really, there's some products that you don't mind spending more on and some that you don't really need to spend as much on. I'm finding powder is one I don't spend much money on. I just use this little LA Looks powder, and seriously, it's $1 from Dollar Tree. So, and it's just very simple. I use, for my powder, I've been using this Rebel Edge, the largest Rebel Edge brush, very fluffy and soft. And this thing is so good. It totally will cover just almost entire face, almost in one swipe. You can just see how that just goes over the whole thing. And it goes in the, like, see how it just goes like right through. It'll just blend into these edges. Like, see how it just kind of goes right through the crease like that of your nose and stuff. It'll just kind of go right through really easily. It goes with the contours of your face, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I really like the way it does that. And this powder, actually, for being $1, the coverage of it is really good for a $1 powder. Really, really good, actually. Because like these little lines, I don't know that you can really see it on here, but by the time I did the foundation, the concealer, and then this powder over it, you can barely see that there's any lines at all there. So I really like that stuff a lot. And then I use the Wet n Wild contouring palette. You can tell it's very loved. The first thing I do with this is I have the Luxie, it's called the Jady Wady, and it's got the two ends. The one end here, I use this end for my nose. Actually, I use the other end, I think it's meant for like drawing the little line down your nose. I actually use this end for my eyes sometimes. So I reserve it for my eyes. Oh, sorry, my nose is itching. Powder. But this end I use for, it's perfect for contouring your nose. It fits like right in that right spot. So I use this darker shade here, here, for right there in my nose. It just, see how it just fits like right in there? And then I just kind of brush upwards like that. It just kind of makes it land in the right spot, but right in there, and it just fits just perfectly. Just like that. And then I use the Pro Precision Face Brush. This is the brush I use for contouring my face. And I like this one because it will fit like right up against, you feel where my cheekbone is? This thing will fit like right up into it, just like that. And I again use this darker shade for that, just to give it, I have to look over there for a second. And then I just kind of, like I draw that line up there and I just pull the color down a little bit. And blush, I use the Lottie London Blush Crush. I've got the color Just in here. And I'm using the medium-sized Rebel Edge for that. highlighter, I'm going to go ahead and use this Artist Couture that I got in my Boxy Luxe box. See if I can get some out without it going everywhere. Where is my brush I wanted? Go use this new brush that I got in the Boxy Luxe brush as well here. And just right along the very top there of your cheekbone. I kind of go down onto the apple just a little bit and then back. Like I say, hopefully next time the light here will be a little bit better. Let's see. And I use the fan brush here. I've got this nice fan brush. Need a little bit more stuff in there. There we go. I use that because it's really good for doing just like the bridge of your nose and like just right here at the top of your brow bones and right here at your chin and your cupid's bow. Alright, and then I use this big one. Once I've done all that, you know, we blend our eyes and the colors in our eyes. I always use this and I blend all of this in. That way it doesn't look like I've got contour, blush, highlighter. I always moisturize my lips a little bit before I go any further because one of the lipstick I use is a little bit drying. So there we go. That's done. Now this I am going to use a mirror for here. I really don't take a whole lot of time on my eyebrows because I use the pencil to draw in the shape, and then I use the stuff that I got in the Boxy Charm just to sort of fill in, and it adds a little extra color. But really with even just the pencil, it's enough that I can go out with. So I'm just going to try to get close enough so you can see and look in this so that I can see what I'm doing here. But I just mostly just fill in, use this to fill in, like I just sort of draw that outline. And of course you look like your brows should start like straight up from, let's see if I can do this on this camera, like from your nose right there to the corner of your eye should be where it starts, and then you do it this way, your nose to the other corner of your eye where it ends. It's kind of how you know where to draw your line. I put it in here. This stuff that I really like, yay. Maybe I can do this on here. No, maybe I can't. Sorry. Okay, so you just use this to fill in and just add some extra color. It really adds a nice depth to your eyebrows. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, there's my eyebrows there. Not bad. I can live with that. Alright. Like I say, I do things a little bit backwards. So, for lipstick, I always put it on at this juncture. Even before I do my eyes, because I do my eyes last. So this is the last thing before I do my eyes. So I am using the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Rebel Rose. Let's see if I can get this up here. Let's see it. There we go. And this Rebel Rose is so nice because it matches a lot. So I have to stop talking to you for a second while I put this on. Unless I want lips all over my face. I really like it, except for if I don't put the moisturizer on before I use the Wet n Wilds. It does really, it just sucks all the moisture out of my lips. But I like it because it stays all day, like even if I'm drinking water or whatever I'm doing, it stays. You know, if I'm drinking water or what I'm, you know, it will absolutely last. So the eye look I'm doing for you, this is like, as far as I'm concerned, this is the simplest way to do a smoky eye look. And it doesn't have, so many of them have like you blend and you blend and you blend and you blend. And this doesn't have a lot of blending. So I'm going to be doing the smoky eye look today using the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. And the two main shades that I am using are called Livin' Lavish and Dripping Diamonds. And that is going to be this purple one right here, and this is like a silver one called the Dripping Diamonds here. And then I always use just a little bit of this Rolling in the Dough right here. I'll use that to sort of lighten up, like right in here. And I'm also going to be using a little bit of this one right here called Rich Girl. It's almost like a combination of silver and gold. So I'm going to start off with, find my brush here, find my brush. I'll use this one. This is the Luxie, help if I had it right side up and not upside down, now wouldn't it? Luxie 245 brush. It's just a flat shader right there. And what I do is, like I say, it's a little backwards. I start off doing my brow bone first. Okay? So I'm going into the Rich, get up here, you can see it, the Rich Girl. Ah, right there, the Rich Girl first. And I'm going to start off doing my brow bone here first thing. And what I do is I make a line down like that. And it's like, that's my border right there. And I go across like this. Actually, I'm going a little backwards like that, see? But that way it makes sure it's like, that gives it a border. So it's not going out from there. And like from there, then yeah, I'll come like this. And I'm doing like that whole top portion, like from my crease up. And I'm going to do that on both sides here. Let's see here. Try to get where you can see it as well. I'm going down like that from the corner of my eyebrow all the way down to like where the corner of my crease is here at my eye. And then I'm going just over like that. Now I'm just going to sort of fill in. I'm going to put that down for a second. I'm going to use this fluffy brush right here. This is the Luxie, yeah, they make this print tiny. Luxie 229. It's a fluffy one. And I'm going to go into the rolling in the dough right here. And this is about the only place I will use this. It's like right in here, just to kind of make this a little bit lighter, right in here in the corner of my eyes. Then I'll go back into that Rich Girl and just make sure that that's covering everything up there. Now, I forgot, of course I forgot because I'm doing a video, but I forgot to prime my eyelids because I've only just recently started doing that. When I got the BoxyCharm box, I got the Get a Grip eyelid primer. And so I've only recently started doing this. Up in there, that'll stay, that'll be fine, but I do want to prime my eyelids because it seems to really make a difference. So I'm just going to do that here just right quick. Back to our regularly scheduled program, right? Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually next going to do the dark part, the V here. And for that, my favorite brush, you could do it with the shader I was just using, or you could do it with almost anything that's flat. My preference is, for me, I've gotten to where I love using the smallest Real Techniques brush. And I've heard people say, oh, they don't have a lot of use for it. It's really only good for lining your eyes. I don't think so. I love doing my Smokey Eye with this. So I'm going into the, get it up here, you can see it, the Lavish. Oh, there's my kitty back there. That's Meep. Like, kind of like Peep, only with an M. It's Meep. She's a sweetheart. She must be sleepy. Meepy sleepy. So, I'm going to, first I start off doing like the underneath right here. So I'm going to go straight under like that. Get enough on my brush here. Just straight underneath like that. As you can see, what a nice, just a line. Let's see if I can get my head up there. You can see what a nice line that makes. Do it on this side as well. And actually, I'm going to go into Love and Cocoa and Holla for a Dollar. That would be these two, Love and Cocoa and Holla for a Dollar. I'm just going to brush through each one of them like once or twice here, because underneath of my eyes, just the straight purple makes me look like I've been sick for a week, and nobody wants to look like that. So I'm just going to do that one more time underneath here with those two, just to give it a little something extra. So it's got the purple look, but yet without the sick for a week look here. On both sides here. Okay. So that's the underneath there. You can see where I just drew that line like that. And you see how it's going like straight up like that? It's kind of almost like a guideline. So I'm going to dip back into, get it up here to you, the Live and Lavish, the purple, and get that on the side of my brush here. And what I do is I take it like across the bottom and up, just like this. So I kind of brush it to the side, like that. You see that? And I just kind of get it up to there. And then I take across the crease, like in the windshield wiper motion, like that. See if I can get my elbow off there. There, kind of like that. So I hope y'all are able to see that. Let me do it on the other side, so you can see one more time here. So I'm coming up like this. And then just sort of filling in that corner like that, up into a point. And then just going over into the crease in that windshield wiper motion. And I'm going like about 3/4 of the way over. So you can see there's not a lot of blending involved. So I'll put that down, and I will pull back out the brush I had before, the Luxie 245 one that I used on the Rich Girl. And I'm going to dip into the Dripping in Diamonds, and I'm going to do this middle section here. And I'm just filling that in with this Dripping in Diamonds here. And I'm just kind of coloring around where that silver is, kind of up into that little peak there where that is. And I'll do that on both sides. And all the way up in there. And it doesn't have to be exact, because to be honest, once you get your eyeliner and mascara on, especially the mascara covers like a multitude of problems. You know, if something's not exact, by the time you have mascara on, it's going to hide a lot. So I'm taking my Rebel Edge back here, I'm going back into the Live and Lavish. And I'm just kind of going to touch up that little peak a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take, this is a Luxie, it's like a pencil, called a pencil brush. Let's see what it's, let's see, 217, Luxie 217. You can see it's just got this nice, like a pointy shape. And I'm going into the Dripping in Diamonds, the silver. And I'm going to put that right in that point right there, because it is very pointy. There we go. Oh, and right on the tip of my nose too. Speaking of pointy. Okay, you needed to know that. So I'm going to take this pencil brush also and go into the Rich Girl. And I'm going to do this inner corner right here. And just put a little bit in there, just for some shine here. And I'm also going to do just a little bit of this Rich Girl right here underneath. Just the line between like my inner eye over to where that purple starts. Is where that's going to go. Okay, that's really all for that part. Well, I will take, if I can get all this rolling of the dough off there, I will take and use this big blender, the Luxie 229, and I will just sort of blend just the edges, just barely. Just sort of hit them a little bit. And I will sort of, and then I'll blend this way as well, just to make everything look smooth and not rough. And really, truly, that's about all the blending I do. That's the only blending I do. And to get extra stuff off there, I take my arm. You can see where my arm is. I've been doing this with it. So if my arm looks a little purple. And I do the same thing on this side. I just kind of touch those corners with it a little bit. And then I go from the inside out, because I don't really want to get a lot of purple in that silver. Just a little bit that way, but not a lot. Okay, that's enough blending for me. I am not a big blender. My name is not Oster. I'm not a big blender. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I'm going to use, this is Supreme Kohl Kajal. It's by Milani. It's a black eyeliner. This is just the pencil eyeliner. Like I say, I do things backward to most people. Most people put on their liquid liner first, then the pencil. By the time I do the liquid, I don't need any pencil, because the liquid kind of goes right down into the little line. But I do the pencil just to make sure everything's covered. So, actually, the pencil liner. Now, for liquid, I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner, and this is a brush tip as opposed to a felt tip, and I find I really like the brush tip. And you have to shake this first, otherwise it comes out more like a charcoal color rather than a black color. But this thing really works well, and it is waterproof. It actually, like, you can put a line of it on your hand, run your hand under the water, and it doesn't come off. So it does good. Alright, let's see if I can do this with somebody watching me. Alright, so here we go. Sometimes I'll raise my eyebrow. You don't want to hold your eye up like this, because if you do, then when you release the skin, then your eyeliner is going to be all askew from where it's altered where your skin was. So I just raise my eyebrows because, hey, I may raise my eyebrows throughout the day, right? Here we go. As you're doing your eye makeup, keep you some Q-tips around. Q-tips act almost like an eraser for like eyeliner, or if you get a little flick of mascara somewhere you don't want it. A lot of people will use makeup wipes, or they'll use baby wipes. But then you rub all the makeup off. Q-tip, it doesn't rub all the makeup off. It just rubs off the little bit that you want off without rubbing everything else off and having to reapply. Q-tips, man. Q-tips, I'm telling you. The other thing is just like a simple little sponge like this. Like in case if I got any glitter down across here, I always take and go like this. And especially like if any of this got out of the line up here, I take that just like that. To clean up those corners. And it will rub off any of that glitter without rubbing off everything else. And it works nicely. Now, mascara. And I'm going to use the It's Superhero mascara. But the nice thing about mascara is if something's not quite right, or if you got maybe slightly out of the lines with your, like your eyeliner, or if you got slightly out of the lines, or something's just maybe not perfect with your eyeshadow, don't worry about it. The mascara is going to hide a lot, and it'll still look really nice. There's one eye. Gotta switch hands here. Let's get the other eye here. I don't know how other people put on their mascara. I switch hands. I put on my left eye with my left hand and my right eye with my right hand. Maybe it's because I was a painter's daughter. Dad said a good painter can paint with either hand. I'm painting, right? So, I don't know. It's just how I grew up doing it all my life. So, it's just a thing. It's so funny. My dad used to say, powder and paint to make you something you ain't. It's not making us something we ain't. This is making us look like ourselves, only better, right? After all, you know, makeup, it's on the outside of us, but our outside, what we wear on our outside, reflects what's on the inside of us. And it's what's on the inside of us that's important. It's what's on the inside of us that makes us beautiful. But we want our outsides to reflect what is on the inside of us. And, you know, hopefully we take as much time working on our inner beauty as we do our outer beauty. And so I'll encourage you to do that today, to spend as much time working on your inner beauty as you do your outer beauty, and to think about that. So, all right, second coat. This Wet n Wild matte finish, get the turn so you can see it, matte finish setting spray. They have a natural finish one, but it tends to just, I mean, it does good, but it's got a more shiny finish. Sometimes it spits on you a little bit. Sounds nasty. It spits on you, but it kind of leaves little spots, so I kind of press them out a little bit. So anyhow, let's see if I can get my hair in order here. So anyhow, that's the finished look, and I'll give you a little bit of a close-up here. Just again, I guess you can see that, okay? That's a finished look there. But I hope that that was helpful. I hope that'll be an easier smoky eye that you can do rather than blending till you're blue in the face. I've tried it both ways, and if I want a really neat look, I always go back to this way. This is the way I've always done it. So I do both ways though sometimes. I find the chalkier the eyeshadow, the more I have to blend. That's why I like this Too Faced chocolate bar. It's not chalky. So anyway, so you all have a good day, and you remember that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye till next time.